Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you. Hello there. Welcome to episode 96 of 15 Minutes of Genius. Going to slide to the middle here. I keep on kind of swaying to the wrong side. I got to focus on being in the middle here. It's all about focus. We're getting really close to episode 100. It's actually really, really exciting. So we have a very, very special guest for episode 100. We're not going to tell you. It's going to be a complete surprise until you see it pop up on LinkedIn. So very cool. So awesome to be here. I just want to really pause and really just show and say, gratitude for, for Mark, for our producer, Mark and ManhattanBeachStudios.net. He's been great. He has supported me through every single episode, getting it just right with the lighting, with the background, the quality, the editing, the sounds, the graphics. So, Mark, I love you, man. I usually don't say it live, but I wanted to say that, not live, but on our show. So thank you, man, for supporting me and having a great show here. Thumbs up. Love him, man. All right, so he's the man that makes it happen. Make sure to reach out to him. Again, it's so cool that we're approaching episode 100, so awesome stuff. All right, without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest, and just in the interest of time, I'm not going to do a huge intro. I'm just going to introduce him because just his name alone and his notoriety in this, in this channel in CPG is already enough. So, Luke Abbott, he's the president and CEO of VDriven Consulting, based in Del Mar, California. From talking with him and really understanding his business, he just helps other brands scale from ideation all the way to brands that are doing $250 million in sales. So I'll let him do all the talking because I'll probably screw it up. Luke, how you doing? Welcome to our show.
I am doing awesome and just honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Luke and I first met when he was running Monterrey Provisions, which was based in San Diego, and he brought us in. He was distributing us for Gelson's. I think that was one of your really strong accounts. And then it was cool. Like we went on a road trip, went to some retailers in the Rockies. You presented to try to help get Genius in. We got in that region. It was pretty awesome. So it was cool working with you. I can't believe that was 6 years ago. You look exactly the same, and I look at least 6 years older, if not maybe 2x now.
No, the MCTs are working, my friend. You're good.
Thank you. Coconut does work. A lot of coconut oil makes this happen. So, all right.
But makes it all possible.
You're doing the coconut thing too, I can tell. All right. So a lot of genius juice. So let's get into it. Let's talk about your story, right? You ran a successful company, which is Monterrey Provisions. You sold that, and then you started VDriven. But I just want to hear more about, and for our viewers, more about your background and how you got to where you are today.
Sure. It's been an amazing journey, and I've been so blessed in my life. I started working at Monterrey Provision when I was 22 years old, and at the bottom, going to college at night. Had my first son born when I was 22, and I was there for about 9 years. And the founder was going to sell to Tony's Fine Foods at the time, back in 2008. And I read this book called The Secret, and it's about this law of attraction thing. And I read it, and I said, well, let me see if I can manifest Monterrey Provision being my company. And I literally followed the process and convinced the founder to sell to me instead of to Tony's Fine Foods. And we were a food service distributor at the time. We pivoted the company to retail. Sprouts became kind of our first foray into retail. We just said, hey, wherever they go, we'll go. And I didn't realize they'd go to Dallas and Atlanta and buy sunflower markets. And before I knew it, we had a company that scaled from about 30 million when I bought it in 2008 to about 300 million in run rate when I sold it to KeHE in 2016. And it was just a crazy, crazy journey that I grew a lot. And so I have a lot of empathy for people that are growing companies and the stress and the fear and the bad days and the victories that you have. And I've seen it all and barely survived it. So I'm just grateful to be here.
Absolutely. There's a lot of landmines that can happen when running a business, and most people they learn the hard way, right? They make mistakes, even if amazingly bright and smart, you can still make mistakes in this business because, we learn as we go. So let's get into, it's really is a great segue, right? I mean, amazing story where you built something from 30 million to 300 million and sold it to one of the largest natural distributors. That's a huge, obviously, a once in a lifetime accomplishment. And then you wanted to channel all those learnings and then help other entrepreneurs, which is, I think, equally or even cooler, So tell us about VDriven, right? What you do, how you help brands, because a lot of people watching, man, on LinkedIn, you got the big brands, right? They're on LinkedIn, but most are like people like me or smaller or slightly bigger where they're like emerging. They're trying to figure out their way. They've made some mistakes. They want to set themselves up for success. So tell us more about what you do and how you can help brands that are needing help on LinkedIn, especially.
I'd love to. I don't want to get shot by my good friend Jimbo. In between selling to KeHE and working there for 2 years and starting VDriven, I was president of Jimbo's Naturally in San Diego.
That's right.
Better part of a year.
That's right. I forgot about that, actually.
Jimbo's, So Jimbo's one of my best friends, and I just want to make sure I call out Jimbo. If anyone is ever in San Diego, please go to Jimbo's Naturally. It's one of the, I believe, the best natural market in the country, and they do a great job there. And then I left Jimbo's, and I didn't really know what I was going to do. And I just started having lunch with different people. And I got introduced to a company called Parmela Creamery. It is a plant-based cheese company. They thought I could maybe help them raise capital. I ended up helping lead the sales, the seed round, and then I ended up investing myself. And thought, cool, maybe I could be an investor in plant-based food companies, and this would be great. But as my wife will tell you, I can't sit still. And I started realizing that my relationships that I built through the years in distribution, where we're dealing definitely with the category managers, but also the COOs and the presidents of companies, could be very valuable to companies that I invested in. And it grew. So it was working with Parmela Creamery, the company called Boo Foods in San Diego, and then many others. Now 30 brands we work with. We kind of built an ecosystem around it. I had no vision for this. I just built a company around the needs of the companies that I first met when I started my journey at VDriven. And so today we do everything from helping raise capital. We have introductions and guiding and preparing financial models to sales, literally running sales for organizations. For many organizations, we are the sales arm. Oftentimes we're managing brokers. Oftentimes there's brokers not needed anymore, depending on the situation. We have people that handle deduction management with distributors. And that's a really big hot button issue for brands that they deal with all the time. You work with KeHE and Unify, and then you get your first check after you have that first order go in, and maybe it has all these deductions, and why is this happening? So we help brands understand how to manage that, how to understand how to budget for it. At the end of the day, KeHE and Unify, they have to make money, and we need to be able to. We need them to make the supply chain work to the retailers, and so but the other side of it is that we need to understand what that means and how to manage it and how to really give the least amount to make that happen as brands. We do full charge accounting, bookkeeping, help with branding, packaging. So almost anything you need as a brand, and at all different stages of your growth, we have the people and the resources to make that happen. And by the way, the company isn't just me. We have 30 team members that are amazing, from the former SVP of Sprouts to a national sales leader to a leader from Natural Grocers. We've tried to amass the best of the best to help our brands grow.
Love it. It's really really amazing story, obviously, and also a team that really helps, build VDriven with just massive experience. When you talk about, there's one thing you talked about which may not be accurate, which is getting a check from Unify. Usually you don't even get a check for your first couple months.
Maybe not. You owe them money.
You owe them money, and there's like free fills and all this stuff. But anyway, all joking aside, it's really, really valuable, like deduction management. Unfortunately, this is part of their business, Unify or KeHE, where it's a profit center for them, right, to go through deductions. And they got to make money somehow. Freight is through the roof right now. They're not making a lot on freight. So there's other areas, services and things that they have. So it's always good to have someone checking what's going on with deductions, because no one really knows those codes that are coming out, and someone needs to study this stuff. So have you been able to save your clients like thousands of dollars, like looking at these? Or
we had one client 2 months ago, $80,000 we were able to get back, and it was just an erroneous deduction.
Jeez.
Yep. It was two different deductions that we were able to figure out that were errors. And again, unifying KeHE, like, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be deductions and that there shouldn't be all these different buckets. There needs to be. At the end of the day, if you look at the unified financial statements, and I think we all can understand what the markups are of our retailers, or the markups that Unify has to the retailers, for example, they're actually below their costs of operation, right? That the only way they can make money is by having these different buckets of income on the buy side. That means that the supplier is paying for them, correct? And so being able to understand what those buckets are, being able to navigate them, be able to budget for them. I don't know if it's happened to you, Alex, where you get a financial statement in January, but then in March you learn that there was a big deduction for January that you didn't expect. And being able to understand and foresee those deductions is a really important thing for a CPG company. It's very material to your financial performance to understand this. That they also make mistakes. They don't mean to, and I believe that they all have the best of intentions. But sometimes, humans make mistakes in what they're entering into computers. And if you're not looking at your deductions, you need to be, because there's probably going to be some mistakes in there. And that's what we help find out. And we also help implement the systems to help people understand what deductions are going to come their way in the future, so they're not surprised.
Exactly. Well, let's, deductions, definitely one big bucket that you help with. Let's get into the capital raising side, right? Because brands, and we can also touch on, I know we've talked offline about, crowdfunding and going towards crowdfunding and learning about it. And so, but for capital raising, what's really cool is, number one, you invest in a lot of your own and some of your clients, right? So you're like doubling down on the relationship. But tell us more about how are you, because a lot of people are raising capital right now, bridge rounds, Series A rounds, there's a lot of money out there, and brands are growing, especially in pandemic. Online brands are growing, especially. So, understatement of the year. They're kind of growing during the pandemic. For online, they are. So, how are you actually helping them to raise capital? I mean, is it from A to Z, setting everything up, financials, seeking the venture capital group? So, tell us more about that process.
Yeah. So we do partner with a CPA firm that we recommend and we're very close with. So they come into the picture too. But we do have a team that's very good at building out models. So on our team, where we also, for many of our clients, we actually are the bookkeeper. So we're actually preparing the financial statements for them. So we're oftentimes very involved with that process. So we can build out the model. We can in terms of like the projections 3 to 5 years out. We have, for some of our clients, we're actually helping to build their pitch decks for them. We have a great graphic artist on our team who's fantastic at helping to build the decks. And then we also, beyond that, we have a lot of relationships within our company, both with, I guess, including angel investors that I've met through the years. We also have a number of relationships with some of the name brand VC and PE firms in our space. Oftentimes, what I always say about me and my team is we may not know the perfect person directly, but we're probably going to know the person that knows the person that you need to get in contact with. And we've had a lot of success in helping our brands find the resources to get the capital they need to run their companies and grow.
Really, really great. So what kind of brands, just a sample assortment here, right? And I want to get into a couple more questions after this, but what brands are you currently, I mean, whether you want to say brand names or not, but what categories are you basically agnostic? Like, as long as is it just CPG at this point, or who do you like to work with?
Yeah. So I would say the rule is, in our purpose of existence, is to help founders achieve their noble purposes. So first and foremost, the person, the CEO we're working with has to have a noble purpose. It just so happens that a lot of these emerging brands that have the noble purposes are in the plant-based space. So, gosh, at the beginning, almost all of our clients were plant-based food CPG companies. and that's where we played. We do work with actually a meat brand like the Sun-Fed Ranch, and we chose to work with them because we believe that if you were going to eat meat, that you want to eat the best meat in terms of the best for you, best for the environment. Like these guys actually raise their cattle on nature conservatory land. They've rebuilt salmon ladders for the salmon and made it all better. When I went out to the ranch, we couldn't even find the cows because there's so much land per cow. So
they're free range. They're somewhere way out in the fields.
Way out there. It was amazing. And then the other side would be a company like Abbott's Butcher that we've been involved in since almost pre-revenue last year. That has launched in, you probably have seen it in Whole Foods and Mother's Market, and did a Sprouts national launch not too long ago. And we've been involved in the retail strategy and execution, and it's been a tremendously successful experience. And so generally, I think going back to your original question, we work with CPG brands who have a noble purpose. As long as you have that purpose, we can work with you, and we'll figure out a path forward.
Very cool. And hopefully it's okay to mention them, but the brand that you also connected me with, so they're helping each other. So Rebel Cheese. That's a really, really cool story where they're just heavily online. And then are you helping them to cross over and just get into retail? Is that the big goal?
Yeah. And by the way, getting them into retail is probably the easiest thing because their product speaks for itself. And artisanal plant-based cheeses without sacrifice is what they're doing. And so we're involved because they have a retail store in Austin today. They do some online business, and our job is to get them into retail. And the retailers we've spoken to all across America. I'm actually in Asheville tonight. I'm meeting with Earth Fare tomorrow. They've shown interest too. Like everybody we speak to all across America, they're excited about this brand, and we're excited to bring it to market and to help support that. So we help with branding, packaging, fundraising, every aspect. We're helping on multiple work streams to help them get to market and to be successful.
Very cool. What's really funny is, are you meeting with Gavin?
I meet with Gavin tomorrow. Yes.
So he was, I'm looking at the schedule here. He was actually, he was our last guest right before you.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
We had a 30-minute break because we do a few different interviews in a row, because I'm lazy. I want to do them all at once. I don't want to come in here once a week and do one interview at a time. But we do about 3 or 4, and Gavin was on about 30 or 40 minutes ago. And he was still at the office. It was like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So it's funny. We just interviewed him. You're in the city where he is because I remember it said Asheville on the screen, and that's where he is. Yeah. And you're gonna see him tomorrow to present.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Tell him. Tell him like long time no talk, but Alex Bear says, hey. That's going to be a funny conversation. You should be like,
that will be a very funny.
Yeah, you should just bring it up and say like, oh, I was up late last night. I was on this podcast, 15 Minutes of Genius. Have you heard of it? And he'll be like, dude, I was on there. That'd be a nice little connection there with him. So there you go.
That would be a nice little connection. And Gavin, by the way, is one of the most forward-thinking directors, VPs. I think he's a VP now out there in the business. So open to new brands and so helpful, and it's a pleasure to work with him.
Absolutely. That's what I didn't know him too well, only through LinkedIn. And from interviewing him, I really got that sense that he's very, very hands-on, like with his brands, and he's always looking for emerging brands, which is why he's really heavily involved on LinkedIn. He kind of has the Wade Yenny, Jimbo's same kind of approach.
Yes.
They're from the same. They're from the same like ethos, which is like get actively involved, make posts, comment, and really seek out great emerging healthy brands that are getting popular, through LinkedIn, and you kind of get the inside scoop on what's actually, doing well, and you bring it in, right? You bring it in before the major retailers have it, right? So you beat them to it, and then it's popular, right? So it builds the popularity of your store, right? Having something different. So anyway, funny coincidence. I guess nothing's ever a coincidence, right? I know with the book, The Secret, and thinking about energy.
You know what I'm talking about. Yep. And this is all planned.
It's all planned, man. It's no coincidence. So, all right. So the next planned thing that we have is our next segment, and this is called Rapid Fire Questions.
Oh my gosh.
Rapid fire questions. So are you like
putting me on the spot?
Yeah, that's what we do here on the show. You know, no script, just chat. That's it. So, are you in a hotel in Asheville right now?
I am in a hotel in Asheville. I have my screen aimed up so you don't see my bed behind me.
I love it. I love, like, you know, it's so funny when you see like in someone's home, more so, like you see like their living, like when they have their desk in their bedroom. And you can see, like, you know, you can tell a lot by someone's personality by what their bedroom looks like. You know, you can kind of mask your personality if it's the kitchen or an office, but a person's bedroom is a true reflection on who you are as a person.
Bedrooms don't lie, Alex.
Bedrooms don't lie. BDL. Bedrooms don't lie. Hashtag. All right, let's get into this. So, and ask you a bunch of questions. Did you make that up? Bedrooms don't lie, or is that like an actual phrase?
No, it's not a phrase that I'm aware of. It is now.
It is now. Right here, coined. Copyright. I think it was all like SNL when Alec Baldwin played like Trump. He's like, copyright. Copyright Luke Abbott. So anyway, for those, you cannot use it. You'll get a call from his lawyer. So, all right, here we go.
Right.
First question, and answer whatever comes to your mind. NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet Boys.
First thing you do when you wake up?
I listen to Tony Robbins.
Love it. Love it. Have you heard Hour of Power? Power Hour? Hour of Power? Yep.
Totally. Yep.
Love that. I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. That's offline conversation for sure. We'll do a next episode just dedicated to us talking about Tony Robbins.
Let's do it. Love that man.
We're on. That'd be cool to have him as a guest. It'd be impossible to get him, but anyway, maybe I can have like someone impersonate him, you know? So
law of attraction. It's not impossible. Come on, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Love that. I love that method of thinking. Movie you can watch an unlimited amount of times.
Oh, this is sappy. Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black. Is that David Spade? No. That's Brad Pitt, isn't it?
Brad Pitt. Yeah.
Brad Pitt. Yeah, the one where he does
the last scene with the fireworks. Oh.
Yeah, that's right. It's been years since I've seen that movie, but I got to watch it again. Song you can listen to an unlimited amount of times.
Oh gosh, I don't have an answer for that. I don't remember names of songs at all.
You could sing it for us. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you don't want that. You want to keep your audience.
Exactly. Well, you know, if they've made it this far with me talking, I figure they'll make it to the end. Usually, I scare them away.
Yes.
So, all right. So next question. We'll skip that, but I will come back to it. So you have to think about it in the back of your mind and multitask.
I will.
What that answer
It'll come back.
Yeah, just some clues. You can do Pink Floyd. You can do, you know, there's some, yeah. You'll Eagles. You might be just Hotel California.
You're saying I'm not getting out of this, and I had to come up with something. Is that what you're saying?
You have to. Yeah, you can't cop out either.
There's no escape. There's no escape.
You can't say I want to hold your hand by the Beatles. You have to do something like a little obscure. So, all right.
Okay. I can give you the song right now, and it's a little embarrassing. It's Kenny Loggins' "Meet Me Halfway."
I don't know if I've heard the song, but maybe I have. I just don't know the name. Yeah.
For me, it's like a spiritual song, and it takes me to a different echelon of thinking and like just positivity. So
love it. Okay, very cool. I'm gonna listen to that tonight on my way home. So, favorite sport to watch?
I don't watch sports.
Okay. Zoom, I guess.
My kids sports. That would be it. So no professional sports.
There you go. That is probably the best answer we've had on the show.
Soccer.
Like, I watch my kids play sports. You know.
That's it.
Love it, dude. I love how you think. So Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet? Which one do you like the most?
Gosh. Please no Google Meet. Zoom, 100%.
I'm there with you.
Have you tried the new immersive the thing that they have where you can actually be in like a room together, and it eliminates your background and puts you all at a desk or at a table. It's amazing. You got to check it out.
Oh, is this by Zoom?
Yes, it's a new feature that was added last week.
What does it do? Say that again.
So I can choose like from 8 different scenes that I can put the entire group into, and you feel like you're like there. And it actually like eliminates all their backgrounds automatically, and it's just your head, and you're like above a table, and you're sitting in a chair all together. You got to check it out.
You mean like
Zoom rocks?
Wow! So I can actually, if I have like one of my employees on or something or partners, it will literally look like we're both together when we're talking.
Virtualize you at a desk. Yep.
Wow.
At a table.
I gotta update my Zoom app. Okay.
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm gonna go straight home and do that while listening to that Kenny Loggins song. I got some homework to do. Yeah. You have to ask me about it next time we talk.
I will. I definitely will.
What is your spirit animal?
Oh, lion. 100%.
Lion. I believe you. That's a good one. Window seat or aisle seat on an airplane?
Always aisle. Leg room, my friend. Leg
room, and you can get up, right? Move around. So, like you said that in the beginning. You like to freedom. They can take our seats. They can take our seats, but they can never take our freedom. All right.
I love it.
This is becoming a stand-up hour here. Okay, peanut butter. They can take our peanuts, but they can never take. Okay, I'll stop. Peanut butter or almond butter, or neither?
Almond butter.
Omnivore, flexitarian, vegetarian, or vegan?
Definitely flexitarian, trying to be vegan. That's my ideal.
Yep, because you have a lot of plant-based brands you're working with. So.
Yep, got to live it.
Got to live it. Cold weather or hot weather?
Hot, definitely. Phoenix, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
I don't watch sports, but I would say I've heard of LeBron more, so we'll go with LeBron.
Got it. Ginger or turmeric?
Ooh, turmeric.
Love it. So I feel turmeric's just more functional, more for anti-inflammatory.
Yeah. Totally.
I feel it right away.
I put it in my chia pudding every day. So.
Love it. Favorite food or drink? If you're stuck on a deserted island, you cannot say Genius Juice. You cannot say any other brands that you work with currently. It has to be something outside of the brands you work with.
I only eat the brands I work with. This is hard.
Very hard.
I'd say, I don't know. I had to say a brand, Three Trees. Have you tried Three Trees?
Yeah, I know Jenny. Yep.
You know Jenny? Okay. So I'd say I do work with them a little bit, but that's definitely like a brand I had to have with me. I had to have that with me.
Yeah. What I love about their brand, no gums, no emulsifiers, no natural flavors. They just whole other level compared to like Califia. So it's great.
Yeah, right. I mean, here, I'll give you a glass. I'm going to fill it with canola oil. I'm going to put like maybe 4 almonds in the entire glass. And I'm going to give you a really good deal on it. But man, you gave up milk for that? You're better off with the milk.
Exactly. I
get passionate about this.
If I'm going to have a stomach ache, either from canola oil or from milk, I'm going to go with milk.
Yes. Right. Or just choose Three Trees and get like 16 almonds in a glass and get best in class products. So
exactly. Anyway. And you really taste it like there's more almonds in their almond milk.
Oh, it's so thick and rich.
Yeah, it's creamy. It's good, man. Good for smoothies for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So that is rapid fire questions with Luke Abbott, President CEO of VDriven Consulting. Also, you're breaking barriers here. First guy to do this at the end of the rapid fire questions. Love all this. First guy to say.
My wife says I shouldn't put my hands above my head, so I should have gone like this. So sorry about that.
Really? You got to go the whole way. You can't do this. Is like
okay. Yeah.
This is what you do at a gym. That's what you do at a gym.
Yeah.
This is
all in.
The celebration. Yeah. So very, very cool, man. Well, it's really good to connect and awesome. Congratulations on all your success. From the past and also with the present, with VDriven. You guys you're up to some amazing things with great brands. So thank you for being on our show and keep it going, man. Love the energy.
You too. Have a great day. Pleasure to be here.
And good luck with Gavin tomorrow as well.
I will. I'm going to have some fun with them. I'm going to record it.
Make sure to record it on Zoom. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I will.
Right. Well, have a good night, Luke. Thanks again. All right. So that is episode 96 of 15 Minutes of Genius. As you can see, we're mixing it up here. We bring on all sorts of guests. We had a few episodes ago, we had an entrepreneur that started a coffee shop. Last episode, we had Gavin Conkle, VP of Merchandising at Earth Fare, and we had for this episode Luke Abbott. So really, really cool stuff. So again, a big plug to Mark Nicholas, Mark N. at ManhattanBeachStudios.net. Make sure to reach out to this guy. He is awesome. We're approaching episode 100, so he's been doing an amazing job with each and every episode, editing-wise. He literally gets the episodes back to me within 24 hours. I don't know any editors. I think the guy that edited our wedding video, me and my wife's wedding video, I think he took 1 year to do it. So Mark has a really quick turnaround with this kind of stuff. So make sure to reach out to him if you can on LinkedIn or mark@animatedmeatstudios.net. So again, thank you for joining us, episode 96. And one last thing, stay V-driven and genius, my friends.
Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.